If you're just in your journey as a bourbon connoisseur, we're going to give you a list of some bargain bourbons for you.
Yeah, these are basically going to be the best beginner bargain bourbons on the market.
The triple Bs.
Man, that's a lot of Bs.
Welcome back to another edition of Bourbon Kingdom. I'm David.
And I'm Zach.
And today we're going to talk about some bargain bourbons.
I was best beginner bargain bourbons.
Best beginner bargain. It's like a tongue twister.
It's something, all right. Go ahead and put in the comments below what are some of your all's favorite, like best beginners and cheap and everything else. Because I know there's always like, now price is such a touchy subject.
It really is.
Because between certain companies raising these prices here, vice versa, whatever.
Yeah.
Makes it a little difficult. But I also wanted to not only think about, like with the best beginner, like you don't want something that's maybe going to catch somebody on a little bit too proofy.
Yeah.
And I always go back saying like, I love Wild Turkey 101, but it's not always the best beginner.
It's really not.
Bourbon for people because sometimes that cinnamon just pops off and just gets too hot for them.
Yeah, for sure.
So just want to throw that out there because it's not going to be on this list, but I do love Wild Turkey 101. So
yeah,
it's beautiful.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and start it out.
Just bring all three of them.
Let's just bring them out.
Because I can't really not. Oh, by the way, most of these are going to be like below like $40.
Yeah.
High 30s with most of them actually. And then like one of them's like going to be like super, super cheap.
Yeah.
So anyways, this is the whole Green River line. Look, I could sit here and tell you, you can start wherever when it comes to really cheap, affordable, great quality whiskey. It's really hard to skip out on Green River though.
It really is.
I mean, Green River, they make, between their bourbon, their wheat, and their rye, they're absolutely great.
Yeah.
And the brand, I don't want to say they're brand new, but a lot of these are newer expressions. It's not one of the big six that you look at traditionally. So It's nice that we're seeing, even though they are a big company now with being owned by a Barton Bourbon Company. Yeah. It's really nice seeing new blood on the market.
Yes.
Out there and doing really great quality stuff.
Yeah. This is all quality for under $40.
Yeah.
So you can't go wrong with it. If you don't have it on your bar yet, this is a good one to put on your bar.
Yeah. Any one of them.
Or
if all three of them.
Try them all at a bar and figure out which ones you really like and put that one on the bar if you're only choosing one of them. Next one on the list is the Knob Creek 9.
Yeah, so this goes way back to where we did a list, I can't remember, years ago at this point, talking about, some of our best favorite available bourbons out there on the market, and you all screamed at me about the Knob Creek 9 year. Like, I literally remember some guy at a store being like, I can't believe you didn't put the Knob Creek 9 year. I'm like, I don't know who you are. Like, I don't know you.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't even like say, hi, I'm John or whatever. But anyways, I listened. I think they're absolutely correct. I like this more than your single barrel cask strength.
Yes.
You might like this more now than your single barrel cask strength.
I think I might. Like after that single barrel, I think I might like this one a little bit more.
Yeah. Overall, it's great. Super cheap, and it's like $30, and it's just available everywhere. And the fact that it's like $30 and it has a 9-year age stated on there is impressive.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Next is the Evan Williams 1783.
A very sneaky, kind of forgotten about bottle.
Yes.
This was in the back of like my little shelf I have over there because I was sitting there, I was like, man, like I feel like there should just be a bunch of Heaven Hill on this list.
There should be.
Like it's not hard. Just not put like 5 or 6 bottles on here. So I purposely left a few off. Yeah. That we talk about a lot, but this is one of them that, man, it's just so good.
So I did some electric work for a guy that works at Heaven Hill, and he paid us, but then he also gave us just some random bottles. This 1783 was one of them, and I was like, all right, I'll take it.
Yeah.
And so I took it, and I was like pleasantly surprised with how quality it was.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's actually, and it's also really good with cigar too.
Yeah. I hadn't had it with cigar, but I guess I might have. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. All right, next on the list is the Old Forester 100 Proof.
Just a staple. If you're starting out in whiskey, if you're starting out in any way, shape, or form on your bourbon journey, and you're going through there and you're like, man, I'm gonna spend like 25 bucks. There you go. You ain't gonna go wrong. It's awesome. It's one of my absolute favorites. Holds up. It can beat certain allocated bottles. It's just awesome. It's not one of Dave's favorites.
It's not, but that's okay. Like, it's still worth having on your bar.
Yeah.
It's still worth, if you're a beginner and you're looking to expand your palate, like you always want to have a variety of things on your bar so that you can figure out what you really like and what you don't like. Mm-hmm. And if you figure out, this was on my bar at the beginning, and I realized that like this wasn't one of my favorite things, and so I moved away from it and added different things in there that are kind of in that same realm, like Evan Williams Bottle and Bond, stuff like that are in that same proof range and kind of in that same beginner level. And so I moved away from it, but at the same time, like, it's worth having in there.
But when we did the blind of the price tiers, let's beat that every
It did. It did. So I reluctantly keep it on there.
You just want to be stubborn.
I am stubborn. So next on the list is...
Talk about a bottle that surprised us. It
really
continues to surprise us.
It really did.
The very old Barton, this is the 86 proof. This isn't the Bottle and Bond one. It just continues just to kind of punch up. It's super easy to drink. It's like 16 bucks.
Yeah.
It's available everywhere. I am surprised how well this does. This is also, I'm going to throw this out here too. This also, somebody poured this accidentally over the rocks at a little party I was at, and they're like, I don't really want to drink. I was like, I'll drink it, I don't care. It was actually surprisingly really good over the rocks. Didn't see that one happening.
Like, for those of us who are in the bourbon world, like, putting ice in things is not always kosher. It just is like one of those things like, but some things are much better with a little bit of water in them.
Oh, that I agree with.
And a little bit of ice to water it down in such a way that makes it good. So I wouldn't do that with the Evan Williams 23 because
don't do that.
I just wouldn't do that. But some things it's worth doing like that. And this is really good for 16 bucks. Like, put it on your bar.
Yeah, agreed.
Next is the Jack Daniel's Bonded. We talk about this and have talked about this since it released 2 years ago. This is just really good.
It just hits all of my personal notes I love.
Yeah.
Chocolate, caramel, marshmallow. It's a little bit of it's not quite charry, but like a little bit of like a toasted oak on there.
Yeah.
It just, it's just everything I want in a bourbon. It's just a lower kind of like less intense profile of it.
Yes.
It's just really good.
And for 35, 37 bucks.
Yeah. And this is like one of the 700. This isn't one of the big boys or whatever.
It's not the 750, but
no, it's excellent.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right, last on our list is the Elijah Craig Small Batch.
Yeah, so again, this is a bottle we just don't talk a lot about.
We really don't talk about it a whole
on this
lot.
channel, and it's really, really good. Like, just the standard small batch, like nothing, like, we're not talking about the picks because we've been seeing those here coming out here recently. But it's so good. It's so solid. It's such a traditional profile.
Yeah.
And again, very, very cheap. Very, very findable. Kind of a staple in every beginner or even every like senior kind of like bourbon collector, bourbon drinker.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. So
I agree with that. There's not much else to add to that other than it is really good.
Yeah. Super solid.
I have a bottle of this at all times. Sometimes two, just depends on if I feel like I need to have an extra one because there's a party coming up or something like that.
That's fair.
So anyway, tell us what's on your list. Tell us the things that like you think a beginner someone who is just I hate to say the word beginner, but someone who is new to their journey in bourbon should have on their list, because I think it's important that we share this kind of information so that people know what to be looking for. And of course, everybody wants unicorn bottles. Everybody wants the good stuff, the allocated stuff, but your bar is not filled with that stuff. Your bar is filled with things that are everyday drinkers, things that are appealing to lots of people. And so tell us what's on your list for that.
Yeah. And I guess until next time.
We'll see you.
We'll see you.